Hello, YouTube. It has been a while since I have been on here and talked to you guys, but I wanted to come back and I wanted to come back really strong with something really cool and something really different from me, from you guys. I've been on a journey the last couple years, I think probably like 4 years now. I've been on this journey, this entrepreneurship journey of how do I make, full-time income part-time from home, or just online. How do I do that? And I've been trying different things and trialing and failing, trialing but failing forward, I should say. And I am about to start a new journey, and I wanted to document it on YouTube, but I wanted to share the entire process. So I am going to have a new video series all about the builder's playbook. Basically, is how I'm building a business in the background. And this business is something that everyone can do. So I wanted to share the steps of what I'm going to do and how I'm going to, make my vision come to life and do all that. So hopefully maybe you guys can take inspiration or learn this, or maybe, it can help you get clarity with what you guys are doing. So this first episode is just kind of going to be like an intro, just kind of explaining what this is. And then this is really raw and real. I'm not editing this. You're probably going to hear my cat crying in the background because that's just what happens in this house. Like she might even jump up here as I'm talking. But for me to do this, keep it efficient, keep me actually doing it every single week, I need it to be easy. And so filming in my office on my laptop is very easy. So episode number one, what is this all about? What is the Builder's Diary? So the Builder's Diary is basically I am going from a CEO as running my own company to a COO. So I'm going to be kind of taking a back seat. And why am I doing this? And this is the whole journey, the whole thing all about YouTube. And I'm really excited to share all this. But I had a really big, I guess, awakening, I guess you would call it, at the beginning of this year. The last 2.5 years, I've had my own business. I started Ion Healing, and I was doing iridology. I was combining iridology with functional blood work, and I was doing assessments for people. And with that assessment, I was pushing them to do health coaching and, all that. I took that little program that I was doing and I created a high ticket program probably like last February, maybe. So about a year and a half ago, I created a high ticket program. I worked with a business coach. I spent $5,000 working with a business coach, got this program, and they helped me do all the back end stuff. So all the stuff that I'm kind of doing right now, I learned through them. So me spending that money for the business coach was really worth it for me because I learned these skills that that's why I paid the money, because I didn't know how to do it, and you pay someone to teach you how to do the things, and just lightning speed that learning curve. That learning curve for me is gone. I'm able to do this. I'm able to do it for myself. I'm able to do it for my clients. So that's what this is all about, is I'm going to teach you all of it, all of it. But what am I doing? So I was doing Ion Healing. I was doing health coaching. I'm Dr. Moore certified. I love holistic health. I love all things holistic health, but it's gotten very, very, very difficult to do holistic health, and especially do holistic health on social media. And is that a limiting belief? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, there are people out there that are killing it and doing it, but they're you have to play by rules, and you have to, you can't say certain things, and you have to tiptoe around certain things. And I'm really sick of it. I'm sick of doing it. But and depending on what I say, I get my account restricted for 6 months, and then people don't look at my account. And it's just been this circle of trying to get out natural health information to a platform or social media platforms that don't want me talking about this kind of stuff. So I've had to really, figure out, is this really what I want? I feel like I'm just constantly fighting. I'm constantly fighting, and I haven't really wanted to do that anymore, So January 2024, I went to the Woodstock Fruit Festival, and the Woodstock Fruit Festival was amazing. It's actually the largest raw vegan retreat in the entire world. So if you've never heard of it, look it up. It was in Miami. It was south of Miami, Florida, in Homestead, but it's basically just a gathering of a ton of raw vegans. You eat fruit all week. You have a gourmet raw vegan dinner at night, and it's amazing. It's seriously, like, you get around like-minded people, and it's beautiful. It is so cool. But going to this place and seeing all these people, meeting all these people that were, living my dream, living in places I wanted to do, living in Bali, living in Hawaii, living this fruit lifestyle, living and having the tropical fruit all the time. I'm just like, what am I doing in a job that I'm not super happy in? I can admit it right now, I don't want to work in a 9 to 5. I don't see myself in that role for the rest of my life. And the fact that I'm here at 42 years old, I'm like, I can change it. I know I can change it. I know I have the drive to change it. And that's what I keep doing. I'm going to keep going. It is going to work. It is going to work no matter what, because I am going to keep going no matter what. My plan A is this business, and I'm going to keep retooling and keep figuring it out. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. And this is kind of why I'm telling you guys all this is I'm just retooling and changing and, just take that little dial and just change it a little bit and see, okay, is this going to work? Is this going to work? And along the way of all these things, of these failures that people see, it's not a failure at all because I'm learning so much, you guys. I know how to do all these things that a year ago, there's no way I know how to do. I'd have to spend hours learning how to do it. And this past month, I'm doing things that there's no way a year ago I'm like, what? There's over my head. I would have paid someone to do the stuff I'm doing right now. It's kind of insane, like what I'm doing and how the knowledge that I'm collecting, the people that I'm meeting, the connections that I'm meeting in this space and in the business stuff and meeting people in the masterminds I'm in. It's been incredible. So I the whole last year, I jumped into the vegan business in a weekend. Basically, in 2 days, they set up my entire business. They set up like an email funnel for me. They set up a marketing, all that stuff. I didn't have any of this stuff. They set up how I can automate my business basically because I was doing health coaching and they wanted to make it automatic for me. So they set up like phone call systems and email, like all the things. They set it up for me. So it was great because it was a lot of work. And to do that, you have to, research all of it. And someone did it for me in 2 days. So everything was set up. I had a program. I was good to go. I was out there, and they do it, but there's still kind of a lot of work you have to do. So I still had to kind of do this and do that and create this. And you want to make new freebies and create new things and create new ebooks. So I was doing a lot of that. But I found myself last year, instead of really focusing on health stuff, I was really focused on business stuff. And I fell in love with business stuff and fell in love with business and marketing. And I'm just kind of like, I can't be a business coach because I'm not a super successful health coach right now. I can't coach business. I don't have that proven success, but I have this passion for it. Like I love this operating, this creating stuff. And I grew my email list last year to 800 people and organically, very, very easily. I created it in February and right now it's at 800 people. So or easier for me to do that. And I'm like, okay, I can do that stuff, but like all the other stuff. So just kind of been fumbling of, I really like the business stuff, but I don't have the proven business, to be able to help people be a business coach. I'm not going to be a business coach, so I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? And I was really searching because I just felt stuck a little bit, seeing all these happy people at Woodstock and just feeling like I'm not happy with what I do at all. Like, and it's not the job. I mean, it could be any job. Like I love the job is great. The company is great where I work. I love all that. It's the principle of what I'm doing, I think, and not having the freedom and not being able to live where I want, not being able to foster animals all day and be able to be home with them all day. And that's kind of really what I'd like to do more of. I don't want to be living in the United States. I want to be living, in somewhere tropical, honestly, like somewhere really tropical with my own garden and gardening. And I can't do that when I'm working in an office 9 to 5. You can't do that. So it's just the lifestyle of what I want isn't there. And I mean, the job is great. I love the job. So all that. So besides the fact of that, but what I do in my day-to-day job is I had to kind of step back a little bit. And I was like, in my construction job, I work with construction owners. I work with the owners of the companies. I do not work with homeowners. I do not work with the general public. I work with business owners. And so I'm like, I kill it in this job, you guys. I'm actually one of the top in the entire country for our entire like company and like of what I do for like my role. I'm one of the top people. So I'm like, okay, why am I like struggling to work with the general public when my other job, I'm excelling at working with business owners? Why don't I try to work with business owners? So I'm kind of just like, how do I do this? Like, and so I was kind of getting back from Woodstock. It was about February this year, a couple months ago. I was just like, just unhappy, and so I started searching for jobs because I thought, maybe if I change up my surroundings, change up my job, maybe that'll be what I want. And really digging into that, I was like, maybe this isn't, but getting excited because I was reading job descriptions, seeing different things. And I was like, hey, this could be something cool, and I was getting really excited about it. But then I had an interesting experience. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I kept seeing moths, like a little moth that like flies. I saw a moth in my house and I kept seeing moths, and it wasn't the same moth because I would either get it or my cat would get it. And so the next day I'd see another moth. And so on Saturday, on the time I saw the 5th moth, I was like, all right, I got to look this up. So I went on my phone and I looked up on Google and I was like, what is the spiritual significance of seeing moths? What does this mean? And it said, do not make any really big changes, but you do need to make some change, but not a really big change. And so I'm kind of stepping back, taking that information that I was reading, and I was like, hey, me leaving my full-time job, that's a big step. that's a big change, I'm very comfortable. I'm very happy there. I like it, and I was just like, okay, well, what is that change? And so I took a little bit deeper look and I was like, maybe I don't health coach anymore. And it was an interesting thing because I love helping people, but it's not health coaching. It's helping in general. And so I'm like, maybe it's not health coaching for me. Maybe that's not where I need to be. And I had an interesting interaction with a client actually, like right around this time when I was really doing this introspection, and she did my human design, my gene keys, and my astrology, and it linked all these things together. And so a lot of the information I got from her, I was kind of like, I'm not seeing that I should be a health coach right now. And it was really interesting because this information will tell you, it will lead you to what you should be doing. And I was like, I'm not there yet. I'm not happy with what I'm doing. I'm not feeling in flow. I'm not feeling like this is right for me. It's not there anymore. And so I was kind of searching and searching, and my business coach, Ted Carr, he actually had some webinar out, and I'd been wanting to watch it, and I had it in my like YouTube, like watch later, and it had been out for like a couple weeks, and he has some really good inspirational content, and I was like, maybe he can give me something. And so that night when I was cooking dinner on Saturday night, after I had saw them off and learned, okay, I shouldn't be looking for jobs. What do I do? I listened to his webinar, and it was really interesting because he brought on a 19-year-old kid, and this 19-year-old kid was making $30,000 per month without showing his face and without showing his face on social media and without having any sort of sales calls. And I was like, wait, what? Like, what? That's amazing. And so he actually kind of went on to say that he is an operator and he does operations for online influencers. So basically what I was trying to do and build this online coaching program, he is that back person that runs their funnels, runs their program, like basically puts in simple systems and simple operations and like simplified things to make it run really smoothly, and everything's automatic. So you're not tracking and doing things automatically. Sorry, my cat is like tearing something up next to me. No, Zayla. I don't know what she's tearing up. She's really scratching on something. But yeah, so now I'm gonna lose my train of thought because of this cat. See, this is raw and real, you guys, because I'm not gonna edit this out later. I probably should, but I'm not going to. Anyways, so operator, he was talking about how you do operations, and I'm like, hey, I've done HR before, I've done advertising before, I've done all these things, and I work for business owners. So I'm just like, this is it. Like, this is what I should be doing. Like, it's all the things that I've done in my jobs, and it puts it together, and basically that back support for a creator. And so I'm kind of their number two, and I really help them. And I love working with people, you guys. I think that's one of the biggest things I've been missing in my entrepreneurship is I want someone to bounce ideas off of. And with the like chat GPT coming in, that's been great because that's my business like friend, I guess you would say, is I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And it's back and forth with chat GPT constantly. But it would be cool to have an operator and a business person and be able to take I've spent probably about $10,000 in the last, 4 years on business coaching. So I'll take all of this business coaching and all this knowledge that I have. I have fantastic business scripts. I have the process. I have all of this stuff done and down that people that like really need my help, because creators, they're good at creating. They're good at creating content. They're not so good at this organizing back end stuff. And so they'll get to this level of the $5,000-$10,000 every month. And they're like, crap, what do I do? They can't hire. They don't even know how to hire like virtual assistants or even like people to help them. They don't know. They're struggling with it because I'm in these communities. I see these creators struggling. They go on Upwork. They go through tons of people. They don't know how to interview. They don't know how to find the right person. And I've done that, you guys. I actually had my own virtual assistant and she was amazing. And I interviewed, I think, 7 people to find this person. And I know what to do because I also used to be a recruiter. So I'm like, oh my, I got so excited about this because I was like, oh my gosh. And like almost every bone in my body, I felt it, and that's what it is, you guys. When you're looking for a business venture, a business idea, something that you want to do, you want to feel this feeling. You want to feel so excited. Like, I think the first week when I learned about this, I didn't sleep because I was so excited because I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is it. This is what I'm going to do. I love this. So what did I do? I jumped into a mastermind with the guys that did the thing because, they're trying to sell me something. And I jumped into a mastermind for 30 days and I learned from this millionaire exactly what he does, the step-by-step process. He audited my pages. He audited all this stuff for me. And I learned a lot. Like, I learned exactly how he sets up his campaigns on the back end, exactly what he checks, exactly what he does. I learned all of it. And so I was like, this is awesome. Like, cool. So in the mastermind, the whole point was like, cool, we're going to have operators and we're going to have some like CEOs and we can kind of mesh them together. So one of the CEOs actually reached out to me first couple days of the mastermind. And I'm kind of just like, are we supposed to partner? Like, I don't even know what this is happening, but I was like, cool. Like, he was a mindset coach. I was like, yeah, this works. Cool. But he was very, 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 very new. And me understanding cool, I've been doing this for 2.5 years and it's a lot of work. Like to take someone that's brand new and be like, cool, we're going to put you in ad funnels and do this. That's like step 20. Like they need to go back here. And so I was like, he's not quite ready for me to work with him. And he's in this mastermind with this business coach to teach him how to do it. So that's not quite my job, I'm like, he's like the guy that's better than me is teaching him what to do. So he needs to listen to him. So I was kind of like, cool, I don't have that right now. And so then another one of my friends, because I was so excited sharing this on social media, another one of my friends reached out to me and he was like, hey, I've got a travel agency business. Maybe this will work. And that didn't end up working because he doesn't really have the time to do it right now, because it's a little bit, the beginning setup process is a time commitment. It is going to be a time commitment. But once you get that set up, it's a cash printing machine, you guys. And like the leads, oh my gosh, the leads you can get is amazing. So I was just like, all right, what do I do? And since I was a CEO for 2.5 years of my own company, I have a lot of products, you guys. So I built a 5-week transition arthritis diet elimination course, basically. And it's basically a 5-week transition diet to take you from eating meats and processed foods and dairy to eating 100% raw food in 5 weeks. And it's a course that you go through in System IO. And I built this course. There's meal plans in there. There's all this stuff in there. It's fantastic. I've had 2 people go through it, but I was like, hey, why don't I sell this and use this as my product and basically use all the things that I learned in the mastermind and just launch my own product to learn and get my hands dirty and just to really like figure this out and like, do it. And so I was like, okay, cool. So then I start, it's easy. It's already done. I have to tweak a couple things. The landing page I had built, my mentor had looked at the pages and loved the pages. I was like, cool, I've got his stamp of approval on this whole funnel. I'm good. He actually even read my webinar script and helped me with the webinar script. So he helped me with all of it. I was like, cool, sweet. So I got it ready. I filmed a webinar. I filmed an ad. My ad is cute. Oh, my ad is so good, you guys, so good. And I loved it. I was really proud of myself. I'm like, sweet, I did all the things you need to do. I went on Facebook. And so I was like, okay, now we're in the test phase. And I'm going to go through this even deeper as we go through the process. But the test phase of advertising, I was in Facebook for 2 weeks and I got some really good data. I spent about $180 getting some really good data, seeing, okay, which creatives work, what words work, how the setup back ones, which settings should I pick, which ones work. So I got some really good data around Facebook. I got about 27 leads off of Facebook clicking on it in 2 weeks, which is, I guess, is okay. I didn't spend that much money. I didn't really spend that. I was spending like 15 or I think it was like $7 or $15 a day. So I was trying to try the low and the high and see. So I was really just testing and really understanding. I'll get into that. And that's kind of what my mentor said. It was like test. And so then I was like, okay, I just kept thinking in the back of my head, like Google's gonna be it for me. Google's gonna be great. Google's gonna be what I really want to do because my video was optimized for YouTube. And so I go to set up my YouTube campaign a couple days ago, and I can't because of my niche and what I do. So they have very, very, very strict rules around arthritis treatments and what you can and can't do. And I'm just like, crap. Like I'm going to have to go through my stuff with a fine tooth comb to make sure my wording is correct, to make sure that I'm compliant with them so they don't block my ad account. And I'm like, you know what? And that was kind of just like a final straw for me. Like I felt, this was a couple days ago. Like I felt just like, and of course, yes, I can still keep going on Facebook if I want to go on Facebook, but it's been just an uphill battle for me trying to work with, arthritis people and helping people with chronic pain, because I overcame chronic pain with my diet and I want to help more people overcome chronic pain with their diet, but I'm not allowed to say the words chronic pain, or there's all these things I can't do. And I'm just like, you know what? Like, I'm so sick of this. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to like tiptoe around it. I don't want to maybe get in trouble. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something safe. And so I made a decision 2 days ago, actually, to say, scrap it, screw it. Let's do something new, because I have the knowledge, I have the capability, I have the time to build something new right now. So that's what I'm doing. So that's what this is all about, you guys. I am going to be taking you on my journey of how I am building a product, how I am launching that product, and how I'm going to make money from that product. So you're going to see all of it. And I have at least like 14 videos planned for all of this, but there might be more. There might be a little less if I need to do less, but hopefully week by week. So this is exciting. I'm going to be calling this the Builders Diary, launching my own vision. So I hope you guys stick around, stay tuned, learn some things, because I'm going to teach some really good things, or not teach, but just share what I'm doing, and maybe you'll learn something and take some tricks and tips, because I've spent about $10,000 learning this information, and I'm going to be sharing my journey of implementing this information and how it actually works, because I know it works, you guys. Like, I know it works. I wouldn't be doing this if it didn't work. I would be out, I would be, at the beach, I would be, drinking alcohol, I would be watching TV, I would be doing what regular people do. No, I am here building a business because I believe this works. I know this works, and I am going to show you guys. So come along on my journey, and yeah, let's do it, you guys. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. See ya next episode.